Hey guys! I got the PlayStation 5. Hello and welcome to A Slice of Pie, the semi-weekly newsish show that we do on this channel. And my goodness, do we have some interesting things to talk about. The PlayStation 5 has finally been revealed and, well, it's definitely a design choice. It looks kind of like an inverse ice cream sandwich. It looks a little bit like architecture that was ripped straight from Dubai and put in your living room. It looks like something that somebody would come up with to put next to a TV in IKEA. It also kind of looks a little bit like the Eye of Sauron and Kaiba's shirt from Yu-Gi-Oh! That all being said, this thing actually really does look like an Alienware PC. And it's about the same size. In fact, this thing is massive. You might be thinking, nah, it's not that big. It's probably actually, about that. No, it is about that. I can't get to my bottom and my top. I can't even put both hands on the screen. It is that big. When you compare the disk drive and the USB ports to that of other consoles and you line them up, you actually find that the PS5 is the tallest console by far. In fact, it's actually taller than some micro ATX PCs. It is taller than the Xbox Series X, and it is just a big boy console. Not only that, but its weird sort of asymmetrical look with the disk drive definitely implies that there's a lot of cooling in that main body chamber, as they did not have enough room to slip a disk drive in there. We've seen the shroud for the new NVIDIA GPUs, and it's weird. This thing is, oh boy. So the RTX 3080 shroud has been leaked, and it is a thing. It's got fans on opposite sides of the GPU and heat sinks on both sides. This is particularly weird because we've never had a GPU that is designed in this way. Most of them are designed as flat on the back as possible to make the actual spacing between PCI slots more accessible and to widen the compatibility between multiple GPUs. NVIDIA doesn't seem to be using that. In fact, it's unusual in many ways. The cooler goes through the card, yet the power connectors go through the cooler, and even weirder, the PCB is supposed to be pointed and triangular. There's a lot going on here that's actually kind of concerning for someone like myself who does all of the liquid cooling. Because it's not a standard shape, water blocks will be slow to come out, even if you can take it apart. Because I'm looking at this thing and I'm not sure how this cooler comes apart. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be glued together, which is never a good thing for right to repair or for modding and putting your own coolers on things. Either way, it's cool that it's coming, but if I ever get a hold of one, I'm probably going to try to get a hold of an AIB partner card that is traditionally shaped and more compatible with water blocks if it is as hard to take apart as it looks like it will be. And trust me, I know Gamers Nexus will take it apart, whether it requires a Dremel or not. But NVIDIA is not the only one who's got products being leaked. No, AMD also had some products leak. Actually, they already leaked, and now we've got Amazon listings. So it's pretty much a thing that they're gonna be coming out. The XT variants of the CPUs have been listed on Amazon, and their pricing is exactly where the leak said they would be. Not to mention all the other details that were snagged from the Amazon listing all seem to match up. Now, this could be that somebody created a listing for an item that doesn't really exist and they did it to get ahead of things, or it could be, and more likely is, that the item is being added into the inventory since the launch date for it is actually scheduled to be rather soon. So this is a weird one. EKWB, which is water blocks is the WB part of their name, is making an air cooler. And their intent is to compete against Noctua. And you know what? I'm excited for that. To be completely honest, the image shows a Vardar fan on an air cooler, and yeah, I mean, it probably would work pretty well. And the Vardars at least come in RGB. So it would be nice to actually have a company that has RGB fans that isn't Noctua with Noctua performance. Like, I'm okay to move away from the poop brown if EK can actually compete. That being said, sticking to their name, EK Waterblocks did actually partner with MSI for an awesome motherboard. This thing has a monoblock solution over the VRM and comes with the water block for just $400. Now, if you're saying, well, $400, that's a lot of money. In this world of liquid cooling, that is cheap. Because the motherboard itself would have been a $300 to $350 motherboard. And the liquid cooler, especially the monoblock solutions, generally run 200 bucks. Meaning, you actually save money by getting this thing. Unfortunately, it's for Intel's newest platform, which means I'm probably not going to be obtaining it. That being said, it's actually really cool, and honestly, EK, if you keep working with MSI with stuff like that, if they do a Pro Carbon for like the AM4 socket, that'd be awesome. Thermaltake had a press event where they showed off a bunch of products that they're coming out with, and there were a couple interesting things of note. One thing is they're making a mini ITX of their Tower 900 called the Tower 100. And unfortunately, it's a bit disappointing because as Gamers Nexus went over with them, there's no cooling in here. The airflow is abysmal, and it's pretty much a glass box in which your components will most likely overheat. Now, they could change things by adding some mesh along the sides. I would actually get rid of 2 of the glass panels and just make those mesh, and then you could actually put a radiator bracket in there so you can actually get at least like a 240 in there, and that might actually make it somewhat usable and kind of cool as a mini ITX system. They also showed off their distro case, and it is now a bit interesting. In fact, it actually looks very similar to something that I haven't even shown you guys, but believe it or not, I've been modding my P3. That's why it's not there, because it's actually being painted and drying right now. But I made a mod which allowed me to attach a radiator to the front. So yeah, looks like all of the improvements I'm making on my P3, Thermaltake actually made on the distro case version of it. And I'm a little salty because, you know, I really would have gotten that version of this case if it were available when I started this project, and it's probably going to become available right as I finish. So, oh, Thermaltake. They're also making a micro ATX version of the attack helicopter case. Man, the attack helicopter case is one that I kind of want to build in, but I also don't. Like, something about it is alluring, and it's also like way too expensive, and like I can see myself making something around it, but at the same time I can't. It's so weird. And I also haven't even seen any reviews, so they haven't even sent the original out to people. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting case, and the fact that it's getting a smaller version might make it slightly more affordable and more likely to actually be used in a build. Let's talk about something also kind of interesting. Why are heat sinks always black or silver? Why don't they come in pink? You got a problem with pink heat sinks? Well, here's one. It's actually coming out. Never heard of the company, but hey, if you needed a pink heat sink for some reason in your build, there you go. I'm actually kind of interested to see if we're gonna get more pink components to like actually build an entire like pink motherboard and like pink RAM. Pink GPU, which I do know exist, and a pink heatsink. You can actually maybe make something interesting. The question is, does it exist, and has somebody already done it? All right, guys, kind of serious. Corsair is recalling the SF series power supplies. They will replace them, but a number of units are actually faulty. Go to Corsair.com. Actually look at the recall list, make sure that your small form factor, the SF or the small form factor PSUs, are not on that list. And I know it kind of sucks because right now we're in the middle of a PSU shortage, and yeah, having to send one back to Corsair to get a replacement does kind of suck, but at the same time, do not ever screw with PSU related issues. I'm gonna be completely upfront with you guys. A faulty PSU can kill your entire system. It is dangerous. They are like literal bombs of voltage. Do not screw with them. If they have a faulty part, get it replaced. And Corsair is replacing them, so just honestly, just go to Corsair's website and see what's actually recalled if you've got one of those units. Steam releases its Play Next feature officially. There was actually an event around this and a badge, and I personally did not partake in it because I was playing Greymoor and I knew exactly what I wanted to play. But in those long summer months when I might have nothing to play, I can actually open up my Steam library and pick from one of 200 games that Steam has selected for me to play because I've either never played it or haven't played it recently, or have played games like it and might actually enjoy it. Why my Steam library is the way it is, I don't know. Why I'm the way I am, I also don't know. And then finally, Razer has finally released the Kishi, which is an unusual little attachment for your phone. Now the Kishi isn't necessary for a Razer phone or a Galaxy, or I forget what the last one, I think it was a Pixel, because Razer actually has a specialized case that you can attach Joy-Con like things to, but the Kishi is for everything else. And it works pretty universally. In fact, it's actually got some pretty good reviews going for it. That being said, there's still the problems that I addressed in the video about mobile gaming and how there really isn't a filtering system to allow you to filter out games that only have controller support. And unfortunately, it's not something that we can incentivize too well on the Play Store. That being said, Razer has been making strides. They do have an app that allows you to actually check if it's got gamepad compatibility, and it did launch with the Razer Jungle Cats a little while back. So hopefully we'll see more progress in that direction, because as weird as it sounds, this still is a pretty good gaming experience when there are things that actually support it. That being said, get subscribed, because we're going to be taking a look at AMD Link, which uses your smartphone and is actually kind of awesome. Just wait a little while for that one because we got to finish Dark Matter first. But yeah. All right, and that is all from me this week. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, you can leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do content like this every other week, and we do more tech content all the time. In fact, we've got videos dropping about a mod on the P3. We got some videos about AMD software coming up. We've got a lot of things in the pipeline. And yeah, let's just say there's always things coming out. So thank you guys again. Wolfie out.